think it was like right after, I got my master's. Actually, I had taken some time off to kind of work on my own. I was like investing in stuff, and I ended up essentially just blowing all of it, like losing like everything. And then it was actually having to get over that, just essentially like what I was going to do from starting from scratch, essentially. No, I think it was a little bit of just like kind of appreciating like where I was, what I needed to do, and kind of just kind of bite the bullet and maybe like start all over again. Like I remember it was something where I was working at a restaurant forever, and I had gone to grad school so I wouldn't have to do that anymore, but obviously I needed money because I had just lost it all, so I had to actually go back, something I really didn't want to do, and kind of just start my savings all over again. But it was kind of something great because it actually made me like focus on what I needed to do for the rest of my life, because I always kind of had one foot in, one foot out of like starting my career. And then after that I was like so focused, and essentially like the fact that I needed to now get like a career job was something that like came out of that, and it gave me like a whole sense of like purpose. I think you have time. Like I feel like I've messed up things so many times, and I feel like people go, oh my gosh, like how are you gonna do it? Like you have to start all over. And like, yeah, sometimes you do, but like it's possible, and you can always make your way all the way back, even further than you ever thought you would. So I think it's just something like, even though it might seem like dire and that you have nothing, like you can always start again from nothing. Like it really does show you that. And then and also like I think just kind of admitting the situation to yourself is something really important as well. And don't be like too proud to like just admit the situation you're in. And then and I think that is, once you accept that, you can kind of just start like moving forward and building of like what exactly you need to do. I mean, I grew up in a family where my dad wasn't really around, and I grew up with my mom and my grandma, and they kind of raised me of like, the man needs to do this, the man needs to do that, like a little bit more old-fashioned kind of thinking. And so, I mean, I will say I do have a little bit of that interpretation. But I also think like, you can't even be strong if you're like putting yourself in a bad situation, you're not being honest, and then you end up actually just looking weak. Because I know people who lie about everything, and they actually, and they end up looking weaker than everybody else. So I think it kind of goes both ways, where I think actually being honest is like, really is actually being pretty tough, to be honest. Just find happiness, try to make every like minute count, like love yourself, love your family, and hopefully you can also find someone else to like love and that loves you back. I would think that's like honestly the most important thing, for sure.